I love the creativity. Points to Hong Kong. Good morning, mushrooms, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, brothers, sisters, mothers, misters, and to all my cousins out there around the world. It's time to plug in and get the news train chugging. Well, in the world of news, if it bleeds, it leads. A faint glimmer of hope. Here we go. Putin claims victory in the vaccine race. Because everybody, they're running, trying to be the first one to get the vaccine. However, there's been some safety concerns. Scientists and other governing bodies and agencies have alluded to the fact that perhaps maybe they skipped a few steps while they're fast-tracking the vaccine through trials and so on. So that means that its safety is questionable at best. Let's learn more down below in the caption. Mr. Putin, Vladi has revealed that one of his daughters has taken the vaccine. Now, he revealed it. Ta-da! See, it's so wonderful and safe. Even my daughter has taken it. But instead of revealing one of his daughters has taken it, with revealing, it's like we're showing you what's behind something, yeah? Like revealing a new model of a car, pulling the curtain away. Whoops, speaking of that, fix the green screen there. Silly me. He's not showing us something physical, he's just making a claim. And so, who knows if his daughter has taken it? I don't know about you, but I wouldn't use my daughter as a guinea pig or a lab rat for some sort of crazy scientific experiments. I don't know. Revealing, I think that's a bit misleading. I would say something more like claims that one of his daughters has taken it. But he's officially registered it. A register. When you go to the store and you buy something, ka-ching, 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 you're at the checkout. Beep, beep, beep. And then they type in some buttons and ka-ching. That's some serious old-timey cash register for some of you. But the register, then, it had a paper receipt and it would register or keep track of all of the different sales. That is a cash register because it registers or keeps account of all of the sales. And so a register or to register is to formally account for and keep track and follow something. We can register patents, we can register trademarks, we can register all sorts of different things. And so they've registered a vaccine. Apparently there is a registry for vaccines. Let's move on. Trump's attempt to convince the nation life is back to normal is crumbling fast. It's crumbling, it's falling apart, it's breaking down into little pieces. Much like, actually, just for the fun of the show, as always, it might be 8 p.m., but I've got my trusty coffee here. And with my coffee, I have a biscuit, some sort of little cookie here. And if I bite into this, there will be crumbs. It crumbled. Oh, it just crumbled. It crumbled into my coffee. And that's where the word, if you hold fingers up there, crumb. Crumbs are those little pieces of bread or little pieces of cookie, little dried bits of food left over often from sawing or breaking and so on. No, and that cookie actually did not crumble very well because it's old and it's very humid here outside of Barcelona, and so it's kind of soft and disgusting, and so you do not want any of those cookies. I brought it up here for the sake of the explanation, but we'll just call that a fail. But to crumble, to fall apart, to break down into little pieces, and so his attempt to convince the nation, to persuade them that life is normal and everything is fine, hunky-dory, going smoothly. That's falling apart very quickly. Surprise, because family and friends are getting sick, people are dying, and, things are certainly not normal in the U.S. Never really normal in the U.S., but normal like they were before. The UK shed 730,000 jobs because of the pandemic. We've had shed on the show a couple times, and we're not talking about the little house in your garden where you put your rake and your shovel and your tools. It's not a shed, a garden house. To shed, as a verb, is to get rid of something that is no longer wanted or needed. Specifically, think about it like dogs and cats. They shed their fur, their hair comes out, like when it changes from winter to summer, that season in between, we'll call it the springtime. Yeah, they shed their winter coat of fur and grow in a thinner, finer, lighter, not so hot coat of fur. Snakes will shed their skin as they grow out of them, but we also use it for things that are no longer wanted anymore. Just like dead skin cells. We shed millions of dead skin cells every day. Companies shed workers, and they're shedding jobs because of the pandemic. They just don't need the workers anymore, and so they're eliminating them, getting rid of those poor people like dead skin cells or old cat hair. Moving on. Interrupted by the shooting, Trump continues to spin a false narrative around the mail-in voting and coronavirus. To spin a false narrative, it's to create a story, to concoct a story about something. Telling a fake false story. Enough about that. Don't want to get too into my angry issues. Let's move on to Belarus, because we have protests after this election with Lukashenko, the Europe's last dictator, as they say. Now the opposition leader has fled the country. To flee, fled, and it's to run away from danger. Yeah, just like people will flee a disaster zone, flee a war zone, flee a hurricane, flee from danger, to run away quickly. That's about it. So flee, or because they always use the present simple here, but better is has fled the country, because probably fearing for her life. China increases its military drills as tensions with the US heat up. Tension, remember, is really tight. You're really tense because things aren't going well and you're a little bit angry, a little bit nervous, and you're just frustrated in general. You're tense and things are getting hot. When you're tense, you're contracting your muscles, you're using up the fuel, those calories your body has ingested, and as you're burning the calories, that energy is converted into heat, and so when you're angry, things heat up. Oh, that was a very heated explanation of that phrasal verb. But yes, military drills. Drills are practice to do the same thing over and over again to perfect the technique. Yeah, just like you might drill pronunciation or drill conjugation of verbs through various tenses. Pardon me, now that coffee and that cookie are coming back to haunt me. Or to drill, to practice something over and over again. Will revolution ensue in Lebanon? Fancy word for follow as the result of something. A man burned a cross and displayed a swastika to intimidate his black neighbor. Well, you get the award for being a #1 jerk, man. To intimidate, to strike fear into the hearts of his neighbor. To intimidate somebody, often to coerce them into doing something. Moving on to some sporting news. I don't know why, but golf has been all up in the news for like a couple weeks now. Golf's new star plays down the Tiger Woods comparisons. People have been comparing him to Tiger Woods, and he's playing it down like, nah, guys, really, I just had a lucky day. You know, it was anybody's match. Anybody could have won. I just got a couple lucky shots. The wind was just blowing my way. He's trying to play it down, play it off, trying to brush it off, dismiss those comparisons, because nobody wants to be compared to a historic icon. It puts a lot of pressure on you. And so, yeah, thankfully he's not being arrogant. He's being a bit humble, modest, dare I say, like a good human being should, and he's trying to play it down. There's actually no important or interesting language here, if you ask me. However, the earth was once home to terror crocodiles nearly the size of city buses. Cool, fascinating. This has been blowing up the internet. Whatever. Watch these twins lose it while listening to Phil Collins Up in the Air. Apparently it blew their mind, and so they lost it. To lose control of yourself, of your emotions. If somebody loses it, it could be in disbelief, it could be in anger, it could be in joy. It just means to lose control, lose your composure. You're no longer able to compose yourself and behave like a normal person. Oh, that's nice. Fantastic. Oh, I did not know that. Oh, wonderful. What an intriguing song. Now they're like, oh my God! Actually, I don't know what they're like. I didn't watch the video and I don't intend to. Will Richard Branson ever be Richard Branson again? Whatever, I don't care. But yeah, with all the problems with Virgin Atlantic and everything, he's taken a few shots, and so I don't want to kick him while he's down. Let's carry on. Shares of Apple Daily's parent company have soared 1,100% in Hong Kong. Now, I've not read the article, but Apple Daily is a news company. They make like weird 3D animations of things that have happened in the news, like a recreation of them. The owner of that company, under the new security laws of Hong Kong, has been placed under arrest and is being tried in court on charges of probably crimes against the state, fomenting or trying to provoke revolution or supporting democracy. It's really quite tragic. Why the parent company's stock has gone up if the principal owner is being arrested and tried and probably going to prison or some re-education camp. Share prices are up probably because this is a way for the people in Hong Kong and around the world to protest against this, and so they're showing support for him. They're not able to do it through social media. And so now this is just my assumption or presumption. I presume, I suppose that my supposition, but I bet this is a way for people to safely protest against the Chinese government for their persecution of this man by buying shares in the company, thus driving up the price of it. And so it's a good, safe way to voice your protest. I love the creativity. Points to Hong Kong and all those people fighting for the good fight out there. And some other sort of funny news. Sometimes speakers make gaffes, and it's just like a slip of the tongue, and you put your foot in your mouth and you say the wrong thing at the wrong time to the wrong person, or you mistakenly mix things up, and as a result it causes some sort of catastrophe. As you may have heard, Trump could not pronounce the name of one of America's most iconic national parks, Yosemite National Park. He called it Yosemite. And then he said Yoseminite or something. He tried on the third time, I think he got it correct. And I mean, if you ask people anywhere around the world, name 3 national parks in the United States, that's one of them. They'd be like, Grand Canyon, Yellowstone, and Yosemite. But Trump screwed it up. It's Yosemite. And so the people started making these shirts. And of course, Semite is a word for a Jewish people, for a Jewish person. And so they are a big hit. They're super popular for one Jewish museum following Trump's blunder, his gaffe. A blunder is a careless and stupid mistake. Yeah, and that's what he does. He just blunders around from one catastrophe to another, bungling everything he touches. Twitter's rumored interest in buying TikTok. Once again, sparked a stock rally. The stock went up quickly. People showing support for that idea. And here, the interest, it wasn't open, it wasn't overt, it wasn't truly expressed interest, but it's rumored. Whispers behind closed doors. Oh, I heard, did you hear what Steve said? Oh yeah, but Nancy in marketing said that this. And so it's a rumor that people are spreading rumors, and rumors, this kind of rumors spread like wildfire, right? Rumored interest, not concrete. It's just hypothetical, up in the air, and people talking. But yeah, has caused the prices of the stock to go up, to rally, to go up, because people are supporting it. All right, moving on. All right, golf's new Tiger Woods. Here he is again. He makes history. A couple amazing shots, I guess. But just a co-location to make history. It was a historic performance. And it was a record-breaking win for the sport's new superstar. He broke the record. We can set records, and then other people invariably eventually will inevitably break those records and set a new record. We've been hearing so much about it for the last 10 years. The gig economy, working gig jobs, the side hustle, yeah? Back in the day, a gig was used almost exclusively for musicians. Like, they're not on a tour, but yeah, I've got a gig tonight over at that club over at 31st and Lincoln. It just meant a one-time performance or a one-time action. It's not like it's going to be a recurring event. They're not on tour with scheduled performances here and there and there. For a lot of the people, sadly, what was supposed to be a side hustle has now become their primary source of income. And with that, and being sort of freelancers in a way, they're not getting insurance, especially in the US, and that's not a given. Health insurance or retirement, pension funds, etc. And so it's being sold, the idea is being sold to them by these companies, etc., that it's freedom, man, you're working for yourself, but it is a scam. You're going to end up working longer and harder for less and less and less. Not just in terms of money, but often respect, prestige, and sanity. Some good ones out there, a bit of review, and a couple pieces of something new. For English otherwise, that was breaking down the news. The second now, August 8 p.m., flip-flopped our day. If you like what you saw, you like what we do, please do click the like, subscribe, follow. add a comment, add a question, pass this along to a friend, share, spread the love, help make the world a better place for all of us. I only have coffee here, and what I really need is some water, and so we're going to sign this off. And so much love. Thanks for tuning in, and if not sooner, 8 p.m. tomorrow. 8 p.m. tomorrow. Remember that, kiddies. Tell a friend. Pass it along. Much love. Have a beautiful night. Bye-bye. Yeah, stop the stream.